She wanna catch a vibe. She wanna catch the vibe into her light. Into the light. She wanna catch the vibe. She wanna free your mind into the light. Into guys, gals, and guests, honey. Yes, honey. You made it to another episode of Wine With Me Wednesday. Yes, honey, and we got some things to talk about. It's some things going on in the news, ain't it, honey? It's some things going on with the black folks, honey, with all the folks, honestly. But you know what we cover here. But let's get into it. You know we got to see what's cracking first. We got to see what's cracking in America, honey. Let's get into this together.
I'm gonna jump right into it. We're gonna roll. We're gonna start out, and I want to share some leaked audio. And this is audio of Trump saying some things, and we need your candid thoughts on what to do. Right? This is not out at this point, but we need to have a plan in place on how to react and respond to this stuff if it ends up in the media. So.
Look, I need cameras in the dressing room. Cameras on the wall, cameras on the floor, aimed up at their whatevers. I want the best cameras, set up by the best Chinamen. Understand?
Yeah, well, that could be a violation of...
It's to make sure that they're safe.
Dave?
I mean, look, I can't be there all day. I'll just start grabbing them. Believe me, for them, not me. I'm a man. They're beautiful women. It's totally natural. Sometimes I'll walk in naked. So then we're all naked. I mean, if they file a complaint against me, I can file it right back at them. The Jew lawyer taught me that one.
We need to have a plan in place on how to react and respond to this stuff if it ends up in the media.
Well, this is obviously old. It's before he decided he was going to be a politician. Mm-hmm. I personally don't care. I just don't care.
See, I like him because he says all. I like him because he says all that. We love it when he says what everybody thinks and won't say. And with that personality goes those kind of comments most of the time.
As a man, I know I've been in situations. We've been in locker rooms. It's man talk. I've done it, said it. They've done it, said it. I've been around plenty of men, professional. I mean, you name it. Every man has said something to the effects that,
that they'd like to put a camera in a teenage girl's changing room.
All right, we're going to move on to the next one.
We'll be back with lots more of Donald Trump. Don't go away.
Okay, so am I doing all right, Larry? Because I'm a little woozy. I just get back from giving blood for this paternity test.
What do they have to say?
It's for Ivanka. I'm double checking that she's really my daughter. I don't want to go my whole life and find out that she was fair game after all,
Your own birth.
It's just that she's voluptuous, successful, and, frankly, I heard she's great in bed.
And we're back in 5,
Okay.
4.
Does oral count as incest?
We're back with Donald Trump. We're going to be all over the board tonight.
Okay, so how do you feel about this one?
He's complimenting his daughter, like in his head type of thing.
Yes, it's crass because that is his own daughter. He's still a human male. As a male, I do say some things that are crude.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What in the heck? What in America? What in America? This is what's cracking. Honey, they will do anything to support their Trump. What do y'all think the real reason is that they support Trump? Because it's clearly nothing based on his humanity, persona, none of that. Child, honey. Well, for all of you folks, most of y'all met me on TikTok, baby, and still on TikTok right now, honey. But the owner of TikTok has 270 days before TikTok is banned permanently in the U.S. Child, that's a conversation all its own, honey. Why do you think they want to get rid of TikTok? Honey, I think TikTok speaks too much truth to power. they lose control over the people with TikTok. TikTok has caused them to lose control over the people. That's my opinion, honey. But why do you think they really want to ban TikTok, honey? Well, let's hear what the CEO has to say.
Hi everyone, it's Shay here. As you may have heard, Congress passed a bill that the president signed into law that is designed to ban TikTok in the United States. That will take TikTok away from you and 170 million Americans who find community and connection on our platform. Make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice. Politicians may say otherwise, but don't get confused. Many who sponsored the bill admit a TikTok ban is the ultimate goal. It's obviously a disappointing moment, but it does not need to be a defining one. It's actually ironic because the freedom of expression on TikTok reflects the same American values that make the United States a beacon of freedom. TikTok gives everyday Americans a powerful way to be seen and heard, and that's why so many people have made TikTok part of their daily lives. Rest assured, we aren't going anywhere. We are confident and we will keep fighting for your rights in the courts. The facts and the Constitution are on our side, and we expect to prevail again. Our community is filled with people who have found acceptance and compassion, offered inspiration and encouragement, increased their awareness, and brought into perspectives, ultimately adding more delight and joy to their lives. Our community is also filled with 7 million business owners who have built their livelihoods on TikTok. While we make our case in court, you'll still be able to enjoy TikTok like you always have. In fact, if you have a story about how TikTok impacts your life, we'll love for you to share it to showcase exactly what we're fighting for. Meanwhile, we will continue to invest and innovate to keep our community vibrant, exciting, and safe. Through our US data security efforts, we have built safeguards that no other peer company has made. We have invested billions of dollars to secure your data and keep our platform free from outside manipulation. I can't say this enough. This extraordinary diverse community is what makes TikTok so special, what makes it matter, and what makes it meaningful. And we'll keep working to ensure you will always have the opportunity, the safety, and the freedom to enjoy all TikTok has to offer. Thank you.
Honey, I don't know about you keeping TikTok secure from outside manipulation, honey, but the inside manipulation hasn't been great for me. You want to know how TikTok impacts my life? I had got to a point where I was able to depend on TikTok for my income. But then because of my truth to power content, honey, they suppressed me and I could no longer depend on TikTok for my income. So you talk about all of your TikTok creators. Which ones do you really care about? Because you definitely don't care about us who are speaking. And it's people like me, the reason why they want to ban TikTok. But people like me ain't the ones that Shu is protecting. Honey, how does TikTok impact my life? TikTok currently violated one of my videos in the past 24 hours, a video about Jaguar right, honey. But you go on there and you'll see a bunch of Caucasian Americans talking crazy about entire groups of people. And I was just letting Jaguar Wright have her little bipolar moment. You know what I mean? Freedom of speech for bipolar people too. Bipolar black women. Honey, yes. Y'all got the white girls skitzing out on Tourette's over there, cussing people out on live and stuff, and y'all let that slide. Mental health awareness. What the hell is wrong with Jaguar doing that? I don't understand the problem. Honey. Child, TikTok, honey, y'all better watch out, baby, y'all. I've been telling y'all, honey, expand if you're really going to take content creating seriously and depend on that for income. Expand, stretch outside of TikTok, honey. But continue to use that as one of your platforms, as one of your voices, as one of your outlets. As long as it's there. And, honey. Monica, hey Monica. Yes, this is real life. Everything we discuss over here on these lives are real life. If it was satirical, I would let you know, girl. But how you doing? Good morning. Good morning, my love, honey. Yeah. Child, honey, what is cracking? What is cracking at the University of Texas, Austin? Honey, what is cracking? Didn't I tell y'all we was in World War III already? Didn't I already declare this to y'all WW3? It was WW3 back during COVID, honey. since before that. The people who y'all call conspiracy theorists today be the people who y'all call historians tomorrow. Child, peaceful protests, honey. A protest against the active war we have right now, the boots on the ground right now in Gaza. Child, peaceful protest it was. The army come marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah, honey. They marched in on them, didn't they? Marched in on the peaceful protest they did, honey. You gonna witness it with your own eyes. We gonna go through it step by step. They was yelling free Palestine, wasn't it? Y'all know they don't be for that in Texas, honey. How many times? Child, and the Negroes are still moving down there in droves, ain't they? They still moving to Texas in droves. Honey, it'd be nice if some of y'all moved to Baltimore, to the Maryland area, and come out here and be productive and build business, honey. And we can have a second Atlanta minus the HIV rates, hopefully, one day in the dream world. Anyway. Baby, it's about to get interesting. It's about to get interesting. It was pretty peaceful up until then one. Honey, they ended up running down on their asses like a rich trick. Honey, look. Oh, Lord, the camera people. Is that the news? What if that's the news? That's just campus. Oh, Lord, they can't even document. What is happening? What is happening in America? Honey, you can't even stand on your campus and yell free Palestine? Honey, I guess it depends on who Palestine trying to be freed from, huh? You see it in America, honey. You would have thought it was black men at a traffic stop. Child, honey. Just imagine if they was this active with the Uvalde situation. If they were this active at Uvalde, honey. Honey, apparently they got the energy to attack students, but they don't have the energy to actually protect them for real. Honey, unless they trying to protect them from a true and fair democracy. Child, honey. What is this? The Handmaid's Tale? What is happening? Ran down on them twice. Honey, ran down on them. I said, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I ain't seen this many white people get ran down on since somebody tripped and fell at the marathon, honey, the triathlon. Honey. Monica, I'm doing good. Oh, this is my time. I've been waking up late, so I've been making content late. Yes. Everybody who ain't early birds, you know, they have something to wake up to. Yes, honey. Child, they running down on what is cracking in America, honey. What is cracking in America? Did y'all see this? Read the headline, honey. I can't say it out loud. Did y'all read this, honey? Did y'all see this, honey? The Trump trial. The Trump trial. Y'all didn't see that? Ciao, honey. Sis gonna narrate it for you. Shout out to Laura Coates. Honey, Laura Coates gonna narrate it for you, honey.
Oh, what do you say? We also are seeing an active shooter. An active shooter is in the park outside the court. We have a man who has set fire to himself. A man has him. Cameras are turning right now. A man has now lit himself on fire outside of the courthouse in Manhattan, where we are waiting for history to be made. A full jury panel is gone. We are watching a man who is fully emblazoned in the front of the courthouse today. We are watching multiple fires breaking out around his body and person. We have seen an arm that has been visible, that has been engulfed in total flames. There is chaos that is happening. People are wondering right now if people are in danger. I'm looking across the courtyard. There is a man racing to his aid. There is codes coming off to try to put out the fire. We have members of security details. NYPD is rushing to the scene. They are trying to come out. Officers are on the scene. A fire extinguisher is right now present, being put on this man to try to put out. People are climbing over barricades to try to separate the public, to put out the flame on this man. He has lit himself out of fire in front of the courthouse right now. We are watching as the flame. We can smell the air. I can smell the burning of some sort of a flesh. I can smell the burning of some sort of agent being used as well as an accelerant to put that fire. I smell an actual fire extinguisher having been displayed. I see a person whose body appears to be person around us. Evan Perez are right here on the scene. I can smell smoke. I can smell it. It's now engulfing us.
You can smell the accelerant. Whatever it is that the person put on themselves to burn is clearly the big smell that we're getting right now. Yeah. There was a point where I saw his arm go up, and it's not clear whether that was just a body reacting
or
to
the dousing of a flame,
or whether the flame's right. Right now they're trying to administer some kind of first aid to him. He's obviously the person's body is still on the ground there.
There is no movement. We all see we heard an ambulance coming. You have to understand where we are right now. It is a high traffic zone around the courthouse. You already had, remember earlier in the week, you had Mayor Adams on the scene to talk about the amount of law enforcement presence would be here. Remember, a former president of the United States is inside of the courthouse. Secret Service, law enforcement detail, all present for the threat of security rises. It has led there to be a lot of congestion behind us in this particular area. It's also making it difficult for the ambulance to get through to the location of where a burning human being is laying on the ground motionless while they have tried to give him some form of health aid and first aid care. You see at least one EMT standing down. They are trying to here's a stretcher coming out. We're about to see this body be lifted off the ground that has been engulfed in flames for over 3 minutes in time, although the flames have totally dissipated. The cloud of smoke is still there. We're getting ready, Evan, to see what no human being should see. I see a totally charred human being. His arms are expectantly outright. His legs are down. It appears to be a man. His entire body is covered in a white type of shock. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back. We're going to reset in just a moment. A man engulfed in flames has lit himself on fire outside of the Manhattan courtroom just as history being made, a full jury panel. We are watching this person. He's come out. We'll be right back.
Honey, he was on fire. Sis was narrating, wasn't she? Honey, sis was breaking it down, honey. I thought sis was taking dictation verbally, honey. Yeah. Honey, yes. Child. Ablaze, honey. And y'all already know what I'm going to say. If you ain't new here, honey, and you keep up with politics yourself, you already know I'm going to bring up Aaron Bushnell. Honey, you already know I'm going to bring up the unnamed person in Georgia. Honey, yeah, protest, fire. We don't have a lot of updates on this story, honey. We don't have a lot of the outlets talking about Maxwell Azzarello. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. We don't have a lot of the outlets talking about Maxwell Azzarello, do we? We don't have them giving much updates other than the fact that Maxwell has officially passed away. Maxwell was going through the fire for a while, but he eventually passed away. I think it's been about 24 hours since he passed. They don't want y'all to know that he was anti-Trump. They don't want y'all to know that it's an anti-Trump protest, but of course I did my digging, honey. And I found out that Maxwell Everybody who knows him, everybody who was interviewed by the media, the conservative stations, the liberal stations, honey, the independent stations, everybody all said the same thing, who knew Maxwell. They said that he was very highly intelligent, and he actually left manifestos which they don't want to leave, or which they don't want to leak, they don't want to put out right now. He had pamphlets with him before going up in flames, and he had made statements both online and in his pamphlets about being anti-fascist. Now, anybody who knows the word fascist and knows what it means, and they say that they're anti-fascist, they're not supporting Trump. No. No. They try to paint a picture of Maxwell.
Start a fucking revolution. Start a fucking revolution. Start a fucking revolution. You've got nothing to lose.
Now, when I first seen this video, before I did my research, I was like, oh, Lord. We got another crazy crap. We got another, psychotic Caucasian man on our hands out here doing things, honey. But now that I've given you the context, it all makes sense, doesn't it? This was a plea to us. This was Maxwell talking to us and singing to us to start the revolution. Because, honey, whether you realize it or not, the revolution is already here and it's being televised. Honey, everywhere. What's going on, Miss Neil? Good morning. Yes, honey. Miss Neil, I told y'all this before, that I'm crazy. Neil, I had told y'all that I was crazy. Honey, all crazy people, well, let me rephrase that. All insomniacs tend to be crazy people. Yes, I deal with insomnia. That's one of the reasons why I'm prescribed medical cannabis, because it helps me to sleep. Yes, honey, I'm one of those people that without medication, without holistic or pharmaceutical medication, honey, I could stay awake for days. Yes, yeah, honey, I told you, crazy for real. I don't play it just on the internet. It's not a character. This is not a character. This is not a character. Y'all don't get all of me, but y'all get the real me. Is still real nonetheless. I just save a little bit for myself and for the people who know me personally in person, honey. And hopefully one day that'll be you. Yes, when we take this show on the road, honey. You 18 minutes late. You starting from the beginning. Neil, I know how you do when you get here, honey. Feel free to chime in as you do, love. Child, honey. I had took a minute. I had took a minute from getting into all of the homicide of it all. Say her name, Shay Robinson. I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with this story, but those who aren't, we're going to run through it. Shay was missing. Missing. Sade Carly Robinson was missing. Young black queen. Well, now we have Maxwell. Yes, another Maxwell, honey. This Maxwell ain't our friend. Now we have Maxwell Anderson. What was Maxwell doing? Maxwell was being escorted by the police, honey, and there was a lot of them. If you're familiar with the police, then you know when it's this many cars and this many officers. Look like it might have been a plane. It looked like it's a plainclothes detective that got him. You know what time it is. Maxwell's going to jail. Well, honey, y'all know my emotional ass do not do well telling these stories. I barely do well digesting them. But it's necessary for us to get these stories out here, honey. And I'm going to take it for y'all every time. Run it, white woman.
Maxwell Anderson is charged in the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Fox 6's Durante Matthews was in the courtroom today and joins us live now to break down what happened.
Yeah, and Bre and Steph, it was a really difficult experience for Shay Robinson's family today, having to sit there in the courtroom and listen to all the gruesome details surrounding her death. And now that they say that Anderson is charged, they now want a conviction.
This sick son of a is gonna pay.
Barely speaking above a whisper.
This is justice for Sade.
And fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough.
She hurt nobody.
Was pushing forward for her daughter, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Friday, Robinson's family sat in court and heard the grim details surrounding her death, while staring at the man accused of taking her life, 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It was the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors say Anderson and Robinson were going on a date Monday evening on April 1st. The state says they went back to Anderson's Southside apartment around 9 o'clock, where they say he killed her between then and early Tuesday morning. They say he then dismembered her body and scattered pieces around the county.
The defendant did a tremendous amount of work to try to cover up the crime, including lighting Miss Robinson's vehicle on fire.
Last week, police found and connected a severed human leg in Cudahy and a foot in Milwaukee to Robinson. After text messages and witness statements linked the two together, Anderson was arrested April 4th during a traffic stop. He's now charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson.
Sade was more than a person. She was an angel. Not having her right now is very painful.
Family says the entire timeline has them shaken.
Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service. I need justice for Sade.
And they want the person responsible to pay. And Anderson's attorney also tried to get that first-degree intentional homicide charge dismissed, saying there wasn't enough evidence to prove it, but that was dismissed. And he's in jail tonight on a $5 million cash bond. His attorney also tried to get reduced to $500,000, and that request was also dismissed. He's due back in court April 22nd. Live outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse, Durante Matthews, Fox 6 News.
All right, Durante, thank you for that.
The top cops from both the City of Milwaukee Police Department and the County Sheriff's Office say it took a lot of cooperation from multiple agencies to work on this investigation. More than a dozen agencies, local, state, and federal, are all working on this investigation. Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball and Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman both spoke today. They both offered their condolences to the family of Robinson, and they said they are working to get justice for them.
At this time, we don't believe that there are any other victims out there and that the person who is responsible for this heinous crime has been arrested.
You believe that there ain't no other victims? Why would you even say that? Honey, she believe it ain't no other victims. Just because they had their black correspondents on screen don't change nothing. That's still Fox News. Just because they put the black woman out there don't mean nothing. They still the pigs. I don't know why pigs tell this lie. They claim it's to not scare the public, but I think it's also to make their jurisdictions not look bad. I mean, you know, you got some work on your hands if we accept the fact that the people you patrol are being attacked by a serial homicider. Honey. Child, honey. Lesson 1. Always have more than one news source. Because I ain't believing that she's the only victim.
Murder mystery that's gripped the Milwaukee area for more than a week now. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jessa Brycebeck.
And I'm Amanda Porterfield. This morning, Maxwell Anderson was charged with murdering and dismembering 19-year-old Sade Robinson. The charges link two stories we've been covering for more than a week. The missing woman, Robinson, and body parts discovered in several locations throughout the city and county. Prosecutors now say at least 2 of those body parts are Sade Robinson's, and officers are looking for more of them.
We have team.
At least 2. How many body parts did y'all find from how many people if only at least 2 is Sade's? Child, I know you playing in my face.
Coverage for you tonight of this breaking news. CBS 58's Taj Mahal and Bryant McRae will have details on the investigation, but we start with Adam Reif live from Anderson's Southside home, breaking down the new information tonight. Adam.
And this home is where prosecutors say Maxwell Anderson killed Sade Robinson after the two went on a date last Monday. A few blocks away is where Anderson was taken into custody a few days later. In moments, you will see new video of that arrest in progress. Now, this case is bringing into light the story that has simmered in the shadows for days. While a concerned family was looking for a missing woman, body parts were turning up all across the city of Milwaukee. And now we have more information on why.
Sick son of a hurt my baby.
Sheena Scarborough did not hold back.
Sick son of a gonna pay.
Her hatred for Maxwell Anderson was evident from the moment her daughter's alleged killer walked into the courtroom. Prosecutors say Anderson and Sade Robinson went out to two restaurants and bars the night of April 1st, then returned to Anderson's home on South 39th Street. They say at some point that night, Anderson killed Robinson, dismembered her body, then drove her car around while he scattered the body parts in various places.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It is the highest level of violence imaginable.
Anderson also ditched Sade's car and lit it on fire. He spoke just once during Friday's hearing.
Do you understand the maximum potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anderson's attorney first tried to get the homicide charge thrown out.
And there's nothing in here that says that she died at Mr. Anderson's home.
Sade's mother again lashed out.
So I'd ask you to dismiss that count before we address.
Anderson's attorney then alluded to Anderson being innocent.
Had Mr. Anderson been involved in this horrible tragedy, we would expect one to flee.
But bail was ultimately set at $5 million. Sade's family had been searching for her ever since her disappearance. Authorities used phone records, surveillance video, and home security video to close in on Anderson. He was arrested Thursday, April 4th. Friday brought some answers for the family, but also more questions.
Do something like this to my beautiful baby. She hurt nobody.
And little closure.
Me and my family would never be okay. Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service.
And prosecutors say there are still missing body parts as they continue to look for all the human remains from Sade Robinson. Maxwell Anderson will return to court 1 week from Monday. Live here in Milwaukee, Adam Reif, CBS 58 News.
Such a tough story, Adam. Thank you. And we have been working to get answers to this story from law enforcement about this case for more than a week now.
And today, after days of silence, we're finally hearing from the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office and the Milwaukee Police Department. CBS 58's Taj Mahal joins us live in studio with more on the investigation. Tajma?
Amanda Jessup, a joint press conference was held this morning. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office and Milwaukee Police, along with assistance from several other agencies, worked closely to connect the dots on this investigation, starting with the discovery of the severed leg at Warnemont Park.
And so the leg was amputated from the around the hip down. As a result, the leg appeared to be that of an African-American female. Subsequently, a Milwaukee police officer who was aware of our investigation raised the possibility that the leg may be related to a missing person investigation that they were conducting.
The missing person was 19-year-old Sade Robinson, and we now know the leg discovered belonged to her. During a news conference, Sheriff Danita Ball and Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman confirmed many of the details listed in the criminal complaint against Maxwell Anderson, including a timeline of how the investigation began.
On Wednesday, April the 4th,
Child, I don't feel like getting into every detail because I can't stomach it. But I do want to get into something else real quick, honey. The ultimate point.
To me, Bill Daly, it sounds like stranger on stranger because we haven't found any link between this convict and a high school girl, but evidence is pouring in to make that charging decision. For instance, blood found in Anderson's home matches the leg discovered at Warnemont Park. Blood evidence was discovered in Anderson's residence. And also, we're learning that Anderson, quote, was in contact with a missing person based on those cell phone records. Okay, what about it, Bill?
Yeah, Nancy, in fact, in reading through on this story, it was this person of interest, attorney, who came out and actually said that police had used some cell tower information and perhaps some, and it was kind of vague as far as the, perhaps some contact or some knowledge of a missing person. So is a number of things tied together here, but as you rightly said, is that, this is only enough to perhaps detain the individual. It's nothing more to say that there's a forensic evidence that ties this all together neatly. And that's what I think police have been trying to do, is trying to work very, very quickly, do DNA analysis, do cell phone analysis, do all the other forensic analysis they can in order to give that to prosecutors so they can move on this case if in fact this person of interest is involved.
All I need is 2 DNA matches, and they don't have to be great. They can be mitochondrial matches.
3 sets of body parts. 3 sets. Maxwell Anderson pleads not guilty. Blood found in Milwaukee home is not Sade's. Maxwell had been in contact with another missing girl. I want to give a shout out, and I want to send peace, love, and blessings to all of the loved ones of Sade. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all did what needed to be done. Y'all really did what needed to be done. That's Maxwell's house that they yeah. Maxwell was 33 years old. Sade was 19. He has a criminal history of disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, intimidating witnesses, damage to property, DUIs, driving on suspended license. I just want to fill y'all in because there are profiles on these type of people. There are ways that everyday regular people can notice traits and patterns that lead to very dangerous personality types. There's ways to be able to catch borderline personality disorder and antisocial behaviors. Honey, stay away from violent men. Stay away from men who essentially don't have their shit together. If they 30 plus and they still beating on women and have no holds and no concept of their life whatsoever, those are the ones you avoid. I'm not talking about somebody who might fell on hard times and be living home with their mama. I'm not necessarily talking about somebody who's divorced. I'm talking about somebody who has a history of violence. Once people show you who they are, believe them. It's a difference between codependency and love. And when you're in relationships where people are putting their hands on you, that ain't love. As soon as a man starts giving you weird vibes and creepy vibes, run. Run. Rest in power to Sade. I'm so sorry that her legacy has to be used as this example. Young queen, please rest in power, honey. Yes. This, of course, reminds me of the Lauren Field Smith incident. But an update on Lauren's story. The two detectives have been suspended amidst allegations they improperly handled the case. Remember, one detective said that he had let Matthew go. Well, one detective said that he didn't believe the suspect did it because he seemed like a nice guy. Y'all can read as a reminder, she was found. The date on Bumble, she was 23. He was 37. They didn't want to give his name. They found her with fentanyl, promethazine, hydroxyzine, and alcohol in her system, and ruled it as accidental. This was the detective that said that he didn't believe that the suspect did it because he seemed like a nice guy. Kevin has since been fired. Kevin might end up getting a job in another police station, though. And for all who don't remember, the guy whose identity that they wanted to keep so private, honey, we ain't keeping it private here. Hey, Matthew LaFontaine. Matthew LaFontaine, honey. And of course, we've been here before, honey, because we protect black women for real around here.
Update on Lauren Smithfield's case.
Harpo, who is this man? Who is this man? Do you know this man? Who is this white man? Have you seen him before? Do you know him? Does he shop at your Whole Foods? Any tea that you have whatsoever, I mean, please fill me in for real. Because it's looking a little suspicious to me. It's looking real suspicious. So please let me know if you know this white man. Yes, of course that was my voice. None other than the Puss. Yep. Matthew, honey, we got various angles. Honey, we got various lengths of hair and baldness. Honey, yeah. Matthew with the family, with the brother and the father. He had to get into the feature. This isn't an isolated thing, unfortunately, honey, but you know the Hotep was going to remind us of that, honey. Yes, Matthew ain't the only one. Honey, you got Asia Maynard, and Irene Gakwa. I think that's how you pronounce it. Asia was dating a white man named Isaiah. Honey. And Irene was dating a white man named Nathan. Honey. It hurts my heart to do these types of stories. It really does. It really does, but it scares me too because, honey, I've dated my share of pink-toed people, you know. Honey, and even still, I've recently, when I've dated, you know, I've been open. I'm ultimately open. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm open. People are people because keeping 100, we don't be safe with men our color either. I've discussed my complex that I'm still working through. Honey. In fact, women of any society tend to be least safe with the men that they're in closest proximity to. But we already know white men ain't safe, honey, and we already know that is the top profile. And what? Serial homicidals. Honey, white, Caucasian male, between the ages of, child, has it dropped? Between the ages of what, 18 and 35? Something like that. Child. Yes, hey Armani, thank you for coming through, honey. Neil's still getting caught up. You can see the smoke blowing in their face. Child. Honey, yes, Maxwell was on fire, honey. What's the saying? A person who will lay down their life for you is the ultimate form of love or something, honey. But they say love is insanity too, don't they? Child. Honey, I know y'all seen this cute video. We got to change pace. We got to change the flow. I know y'all seen this cute video. This video is adorable. Honey, I said watch. Beyonce gonna see this video.
Beyonce.
What?
Who's Beyonce?
Where or who?
Who is Beyonce?
Beyonce's in her house, baby. You like her songs?
Can they visit Beyonce?
No, we don't know her personally. We don't know her personally. She's not Mama's friend. She doesn't live here also, baby.
She's her friend.
She's her friend?
Yeah.
I haven't met her.
Beyonce is my friend.
Beyonce is your friend?
Yeah.
Okay, well, can you introduce me to Beyonce?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know her personally.
Oh, you know her personally. She's my friend.
Beyonce is your friend?
Yeah. I want to meet her.
You want to meet her? I know, me too, baby. I want to meet her too. Yeah. Maybe one day we can meet her.
Yeah.
Sure.
Honey, Tyler is Beyonce's friend. His mother just didn't know. Honey. And now in real life, Tyler is Beyonce's friend. Because what? Beyonce saw it. Honey, Virgo, child, we don't miss nothing. Don't miss nothing. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, one strip to the right. Beyonce sent Tyler some flowers, some blue roses, and a new stuffed dino. Too cute, too cute. Jaguar Wright said that Beyonce is a witch. And honey, if she is, I really do think she's a good witch. I ain't lying to you, honey. I think she's out here fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight, always ready for a real fight. She is the one. Beyonce Giselle knows called. Yeah, huh? Speaking of big, child, y'all got in an uproar about this thing.
For flat ironing, the stigma and misconception is that people that wear wigs don't have long and healthy hair. That's some bullshit, because it ain't nobody's business. I'll get back to my hair. I like to blow dry my hair on medium heat because I try to stay away from as much heat as possible and using the old
One more time. That's some bullshit.
quality and what it does for your hair. I think it's about time I show y'all what it does for my hair. I love the lather. It's very soothing. The smells. Because my color was fresh, we used the rice and rose water ritual. And there's nothing in the world like the conditioner. I love it. There's nothing like it. I'm really proud of the quality. I do use a tiny bit of moisture seal before flat ironing. The stigma and misconception is that people that wear wigs don't have long and healthy hair. That's some bullshit, because it ain't nobody's business. I'll get back to my hair. I like to blow dry my hair on medium heat because I try to stay away from as much heat as possible and using the old school pressing comb. I've chosen color over perms or relaxers.
All natural. You know his favorite hashtag.
I've been using this product and my hair has never grown so long, never been so moisturized. And I've managed to keep my texture and my curls, even with my hair so blonde and my hair is flourishing. Is it sacred? Is it sacred? I love sacred wash days because I'm able to focus and take some QT and spend it on me.
And I'm very grateful for those who have allowed the products to speak for themselves. And we are building the community that I've dreamt about. I'm proud of the ingredients. I'm proud of the way it's making people feel. I'm proud that it's not one-dimensional and that it's
your bodyguard. Honey, the people is in the uproar. That's some bullshit. Honey, why is black women, shout out to my sisters, why is black cisgender women to be specific, honey, why is they mad that Beyonce got hair underneath her wig? That's some bullshit. Child, y'all got to do better. It's okay if you don't have to be a fan of Beyonce. It's okay. I know a lot of y'all say that. That's some bullshit. But yeah. Blue got long hair too. That's some bullshit. And I've been through this before, honey. I'm sure Beyonce gets more grace than I've gotten when I've let my hair grow out, honey, because people won't believe it's mine and people will root me. I've been rooted by cisgender black women in public, in the club. People want to verify. Black people can grow hair. Black Americans can grow hair, especially. This point is specifically about Black Americans because, you know, we have a whole diaspora of Black people. Black Americans, we can grow hair. Sometimes our textures are unexpected because our genes is so up. I mean, mixed and intertwined with mass in them. Honey. Child, we are the most intermixed race of people, honey. Black Americans are the most intermixed race of people because you only have to be over a certain complexion to legally be considered black. Yes, that's a thing, honey. One of my exes, honey, him and his sister, both same parents, same mom, same dad. One mother Hungarian, father black, American. The sister is legally white. He is legally black. That's some bullshit. Why do we even have to have these conversations? Why do we have to have history lessons and stuff? Why do it even matter? Honey, baby. If you somebody who bald-headed and can't grow hair and your edges got traction, alopecia, and all that, child, learn healthcare. Learn healthcare if you want. Learn hair care if you want some decent hair. Stop super gluing them. I've been told y'all stop super gluing them wigs to y'all head. That's some bullshit. What else? Let your real hair breathe. If you want hair, you're going to have to let it breathe. You're going to have to be comfortable showing your real hair, honey, even if it's only as long as a whippersnap, you know? Child, first of all, get comfortable with your own hair before y'all want to talk about somebody else's. I feel like people who bald-headed are meant to be bald-headed. They got the bone structure to carry it. If you the bald type, then make it work. Honey, if you bald because of your own doing and you upset about it, talk about that with your therapist. Leave it out of Beyonce comment section. Why is y'all so crazy? Why are y'all so crazy every time I come on the internet? That's some bullshit. Honey. Texas and Florida. Yes, R.I.P. to Sade, honey. Yeah. Texas and Florida. What you in here talk about, AR? What's going on, AR? Did I speak to you, Armani Day? Did I speak to you already? They speaking it into existence that they want to meet Beyonce. You think that's what it is? Oh, yeah. That's what happened with Tyler. Tyler did that. I forgot. Armani and Miss Neal went to the beginning of the live. They started from the beginning. So we a little past them. No worries, AR. If you behind, just take it on back with Miss Neal and Armani, honey, child, and I'll keep checking in with y'all as we keep getting it going. We about to get into the straight people business, honey. The blacks, yes, the black family, honey. Well, this one is interracial. This video is interracial. Have y'all seen this one?
I gotta show you something that I don't know how to explain at all. Either the government is building something insane or this is aliens.
Why? What is it?
You know Google Earth, right?
Yeah.
Do you have Google Earth on your phone?
Probably not, but I'm probably just going to Google and...
Okay. Well, I will do it on my phone real quick.
You have Google
and
Earth
I
on
will
your
show
phone?
you. Yes. I'll punch in these coordinates on my phone myself. And what I see is so wild, Mike. Pretty much, bro, when you punch in these coordinates on Google Earth, it will take you to this random part of the Earth that's like a barren wasteland. For miles, there's nothing. No town, no whatever. And the only way I can explain this thing is it looks like a portal or something, dude. Don't know how to explain this. I don't know what this looks like, Mike. That's the best way I can describe it. All around it, for miles, are hella tanks defending it. I swear to God. For miles, dude, the hella tanks spread out. You can't even get close to it.
And this
how
is
many
real.
tanks? And this is real.
What the
I'll show you right now.
Let me see.
All right, first, I just pasted this okay? Look, it's in there.
Yep.
What the is this?
Let me see.
And then zoom and look around all over the desert.
What the is this?
Mike.
It's like a Death Star.
Go around the whole desert.
Oh, no, there actually is like tanks.
Keep going.
They're hella spread out.
Hella of them.
What the?
Hella of them.
But dude, what is that black? And there's like something like looking across from it that like mirrors it too. What is that? What is this? Let me zoom out. Bro, that's in America. Bro, that's in California. Bro, there's for sure hundreds of tanks.
Dude.
All around though.
And you see how they're all pointing away from it.
Yeah, they're low-key blending in.
Bruh, Mike.
Dude, there's hell of them.
Child, honey, they always doing something in America, ain't they? They is always doing something in America, Jupiter, Neptune. What's up, TikTok? What's up, everybody over here on the Tickety Talk? Hey, girl. Yes, honey, they is always doing something in America, ain't they? Honey, this my girl. She's a fool. This the same one that had on that Temu wig that time, ain't it?
You're not gonna take this wig. They shutting down Dollar Tree. They shutting down Dollar Tree. They is. I'm telling you, they is. For real, they is. Arian, are you serious? You love Dollar Tree.
I don't love it that much for you to be crying like that.
She don't understand.
She a kid. She a kid. She a kid. I still ain't found her profile. Everybody repost her content and stuff so much, honey. They saying that they think Normani got one, y'all. They saying that they think Normani got one. Have y'all seen this one, honey? Learn Normani's dance, honey. What y'all think of Normani's song? What y'all think? Ting, 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 make it pumping. Did y'all learn the dance moves? Ting, 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 make it pumping. Ow. Now, give it to me. How? Boom, cow. Yeah, sure, I'll learn it. Sure, y'all gonna learn it. I don't know about learning the dance, but honey, I will definitely listen to the song again, honey. I think it has potential. I think it has potential, honey. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. I'm just checking in on y'all. Have y'all seen this trailer? Honey, Hulu is coming out with a Black Twitter show. This is a reaction. Y'all getting it in real time, honey. I have not watched it.
You know you're black when you cancel plans when it's raining.
You know you're black when you wear tall heels. You know you're black when you go to a cookout late.
You know you're black when you cancel plans when it's raining.
You know you're black when you wear tall tees. You know you're black when you can go to a cookout late and still be early.
Yo, where do we come up with these?
What was your digital footprint like before Black Twitter?
Black voices.
Black Planet.
I spent a lot of time on MySpace.
But Twitter was different.
Black Twitter created a space to experience things together. There's a Hotep Twitter.
Black music Twitter. There's definitely Twitter after dark.
And
Is this thing on?
Black people bring value to every place we gather.
Now come on. We move the culture forward.
We did it, Joe.
I do know one thing, is that when Black Twitter showed up, it was at the most important time.
We can kiki all we want, but when you're black, you can't avoid the realities of this world.
And I might never come down. is way bigger than just fun and jokes.
We used it to create change intentionally.
We stay on ready.
Talking about like Black History Matters, this is like Black history.
This historical record, you could turn it off like that.
And I might never come down.
But as Black people always do, we don't die.
We multiply.
Y'all gonna check it out? What do y'all think? I saw some reviews because, of course, honey, when you're online, you can't miss people giving their own review. I don't know if it'll interest me enough to watch it, but watching the trailer just inspires me for us to want to have our own Black social media platform. Ow! How you like me now? Oh, shit. I didn't mean to X that one out, honey. We gotta see what's going on over here. What's going on? Okay, what's that one?
Listen.
Shay, yes. Did y'all see this, honey? Floyd Mayweather and somebody, honey.
I'm still in the street. Listen, I'm still in the street, and if I see your kids, wait. If I see your kids, wait a minute, nigga. If I see your kids in the street, what you mean nothing glorified? Nigga, I'm just seeing your kids in the streets, nigga, and told somebody, nigga, back the fuck up, leave your kids alone, nigga, because I'm a thoroughbred street nigga, and you know your kids be in the streets, nigga. They can do whatever they want. Squares. But they squares. Yeah, you said they'd do whatever they want to do, you clown ass nigga. What you mean your kids can do everything? And you got $150 million. I didn't say that. I said when kids just said that they can do whatever they want to do. When kids get to a certain age, they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do anyway. Nigga, you buy them what are you talking about? Everything, nigga. You buy them bitches everything. How you can't buy your kids everything the same pocket, nigga? Lame ass nigga. Why are you worried about what I'm doing with my money? Now you pocket watching? Nigga, I'm a thoroughbred nigga. You already know it. Now you pocket watching? Cool. Pocket. I don't give a fuck. Bill, pocket. You shouldn't be worried about. You shouldn't be worried about what another man doing for.
Chat, honey. Race to the bottom. And while we already here, honey. Why was this person at the school with the children trying to get the child? How did this person get close enough to the school to get the child? And then they had the nerve to try and say, one unreliable source had the nerve to try to say that this person claimed that they was transgender. I don't think this person even know what planet they on. Let alone what gender to identify with. Oh. Smokey came to life, honey. Is it life imitating art or is it art imitating life? Child, honey, I keep telling y'all I can't make this shit up. Didn't I? I'm supposed to be stop cussing. on here. I'm supposed to be stop cussing. Oh, Lord. Let's get into this Amanda Seales interview, honey. Yeah. Before we even get into the interview, let's get the mess out of the way. She reveals that she dated Pusha T in the interview with Shannon Smith on Club Shay Shay. She reveals that she dated Lupe Fiasco on the interview with Shannon Smith on Club Shay Shay. Now let's get into the
And so I recently was diagnosed as someone who has autism spectrum disorder, which is very difficult to identify in Black women because of racism. And however many days until I was just recently diagnosed.
Okay.
And this came out of this situation because so many Black women who are autistic said to me, I see you. You need to, and I've always thought, you can look at other interviews. I have mentioned before, like, I think I'm on the spectrum because I'm an 80s baby. This was not really a part of the narrative.
Right.
Like, I had a teacher, Miss Schwenk, who called a conference because she was talking about Aboriginal art. And she said that she stood in front of the class and said, you know, that the Aborigines are a Stone Age people. And I was like, ma'am, there are Aboriginals alive right now. Like, they are a part of civilization. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, no, you know, what I mean is that they've never advanced. And we're in a classroom in Orlando, Florida. So, like, if we don't check this type of stuff, it's going to just continue. So I was that student. Like, I was the kid who was always raising my hand and just wasn't easily appeased by simply just someone being an authority.
Right.
And I love this because when she called my mom and said, you know, I'd like to set a conference up because I have some complaints about Amanda. My mom said, well, you know, that's interesting because Amanda has some complaints about you. And so they came to the meeting and it was my mom, the same build. And Mr. Wright was like, all right, so, you know, are we here to discuss Amanda disrupting the class with her talking? And she was like, no, Amanda doesn't disrupt the class with her talking. She actually helps the other students out. He's like, oh, okay. So is it about her grades? And she's like, actually, no. One of her art pieces is featured in our exhibit at the library. He's like, so what are we here for? And she's like, well, you know, she corrects me in front of the class. And these three black people are like, here we go with this racist bullshit. You know, because that's really what it is. We're in Florida in the 80s.
Child, before she go any further, honey, I told y'all that me and Amanda have a lot in common, honey. I love me some Amanda Seales, honey. But just to prove that we have a lot in common, I was that child in school. Yes, I'll never forget, honey. Professor Thomas was talking about how they was making all this folk music in Europe while the Africans were still in caves. I had to send I corrected Mr. Thomas in class, but I had to send Mr. Thomas a note, and I had to CC the whole entire class because I couldn't vocalize what I was thinking in that moment without getting expelled from school or at least failing that class. You know, Caucasian society, they call it aggression when we're passionate and when we read them. But I had to let Mr. Thomas know that I was very offended by quite a few statements that he made in class. First, there was your objection to classical music found in Africa. And of course, there was nothing found in Africa, which followed your statement of no classical music being found in ancient Egypt. Though typically separated in this society, Egypt is very much part of Africa. If you research, you'll find that the Africans who were enslaved and brought to the Americas are believed to be Kemites, descendants of Egypt. You could also learn that there is proof of ancient music found throughout Africa, such as instruments. Today, you made the comments, you people in church and white people acting black. Who are, quote unquote, you people? How exactly does one, quote unquote, act black? Why are these points even made during lecture? I would appreciate you sticking to the European musical history you've learned and have been instructed to teach. Apparently, you're ignorant to many aspects of open social discussion. Being an educator and father of someone who is not Caucasian, yes, he and his wife adopted an Asian child. I would recommend reassessing some of your concepts and dialogue to maintain the respect of others. Thank you. He responded with an apology. I got an A in the class. This is just proof that, honey, again, this is not a character I put on for the internet. These are not speaking points that I've stole from other people. Honey, over time, if I ever get my due recognition, y'all will see that a lot of bigger content creators steal from me. They watching with y'all. Hey. Yeah, honey. Celebrities and everything, honey. Shout out to y'all, honey. Yeah. But let's get back to Amanda, honey.
In the 90s. And
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think she would have felt equally as offended if a white kid, because I'm assuming this teacher was white, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a white child would have corrected her, I think most teachers would feel some type of way if a child corrects them.
That's not for me to surmise. I'm just saying that my experience was this lady giving wrong information.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to correct her. Now, this is the same lady who tried to accuse me of stealing. And when a white girl said, no, Amanda didn't steal it, I did. She was like, well, I think both of you need to go to the principal.
She possibly misspoke or she didn't know.
I guess my question to you is, why do you even feel compelled at this juncture in this interview? Why would you even feel compelled to try to
because I'm not defending, but my thing is that what I'm trying to say, most adults, when kids correct them or speak, feel some type of way. This is not unique to a black, white, or white, black. That's all I'm saying.
So you're not supposed to raise your hand and speak back to your teachers in class? Shannon, baby, you is tap dancing, ain't you, honey? You got them shoes shellacked up, honey. Did you get one of the Negroes on the corner to shine your shoes for you today? Baby, honey. The country closeted Negro will show their colors every time, honey. That's what I be telling you about y'all closeted cisgender. Ain't nothing but another tap dance and mask.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you took it that way. But I remember when I was growing up, my grandparents and parents said, hey, kids, stay in your place. Adults are speaking.
At Disney World in Orlando, and my mom was like, I think you should go and audition. So I went and auditioned, and I made it, which I was not expecting to do. It was like 1,500 kids dancing, and I made it, and I'm like, okay. And even though you're going to probably have an issue with this, they were racist. So when I was at Disney,
yes,
and I was in the situation at Disney, I was there as the only black girl.
Okay.
And there was a whole crew. It's like 12 of us. And so I was called an N-word right there while I was there. And I was also bullied while I was there because I was told that you're only here because you're black. You can't really dance. You're just here because you're black. So don't get any ideas. So that's what I'm being told by the other children. Does that suffice as racist to you, or would you want to call it something else? Is that just kids being mean?
The kids. So let me ask you a question. As a child, you never said anything derogatory? You was just this...
Tap dance for him, Shannon. Tap dance for him, Shannon. Go ahead, boy. You better tap dance for him, honey.
Model citizen as a child?
I also just bring this to light for you because this is going to be a theme throughout this interview.
Okay.
I am a scholar of race.
Okay.
I'm not just someone who experiences it.
Right.
I'm a scholar. I'm an academic of race. So I see the world through a particular lens because I am skilled at doing so and because I'm an expert at doing so. Like, my master's isn't just in African American studies. It's the fact that I was taught by some of the greatest thought leaders of our time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear me say these things, I would just like to ask that because you have someone who is an expert sitting in front of you, to just consider versus be combative, because there may be an opportunity here to see something differently because you have someone with you who is not just experiencing race, but is also examining. And there's a different intellectualism about that. You know what I mean? There's different intellectualism about that. And I say that also because that's why I went and got my master's.
Okay.
I went and got my master's because I know that we live in a world that loves to try and find ways to undermine black people's minds. They love to find ways to undermine black people's intellect. Look at this DEI bullshit. This DEI bullshit is trying to state that in order to include black people, we have to lower the standard, which is unconscionable. Because if black people with no schooling were able to build the White House, if Black people with no schooling were able to create all of these beautiful spirituals that we still sing to this day, if Black people with no schooling were able to till these fields and know the ways of agriculture enough to create the actual the actual breadbasket of this nation, then you telling me that their descendants are not smart enough to get into Harvard without you lowering a standard? That's
You see things one way, I might see it a different way. That doesn't mean I'm being combative.
I would say it's combative when there's a undermining of how someone sees something.
But why are you trying to undermine how I see it?
Because it's my experience.
Okay, well, I'm telling you,
You don't know my experience.
But I'm saying, see, you take it as if I don't agree with you, I'm being combative.
No, I don't. I take it as if I have an experience and you're telling me that my experience isn't what it is.
No,
You're telling me that my thinking somebody is racist who I was in a classroom with for a year that you have never met, you are emitting doubt upon that because of your own experiences.
No, I was talking about the teacher and you.
Right.
And I said I believe based on my experience and a lot of people is that kids correct an adult, no matter what society it is frowned upon. That's what I was saying. Okay. You took it as that I'm trying to minimize your experience and say, well, I'm defending her when I wasn't.
Okay. I think there's something worth saying that could come off that way and it should be something to consider.
Well, see, again, you're going to consider it your way because you see things, like you said, you see things through your prism. Okay.
I think it's fascinating to watch you accuse me of doing the thing that you're doing.
No,
it's fascinating.
I think it's
fascinating.
This is your interview, so I won't interject what I think. But anyway.
Where they had a Black Emmys party. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like.
And here Amanda goes again. Checking someone when they need to be checked. And not in a cussing them out way, not in a superficial way, not in a talking about their looks or trying to belittle them or down them. But when that coon chip is activating, honey, you got to let them know it's time for it to log off, baby. This is a learning moment, not a discussion, boy. Child, honey, I'm sure he probably got a white man on his team right now that calls him boy. Shout out to Shay Short.
Everybody who done been to all them other parties.
Come in this one.
Yes. And I went to that party with Jill Scott. And one of the people that planned that party was Issa Rae's publicist, Vanessa Anderson. So she was one of the planners of the party. But there's a bunch of people involved in planning this party.
Correct.
So I show up with Jill and Jill's manager was like, hey, can we, and I remember hearing Vanessa go like, oh, come on, Amanda. Mind you, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong right here. Right. Like I'm just standing with Jill Scott. Right. But nonetheless, we came to the party. We had a great time. So, and I said to Issa, like, I don't know what's going on with your publicist, but like she got something wrong. She got a problem with me. And she was like, that's between y'all.
Okay.
I said, well, it's not really between y'all because I don't have a problem with her.
Right.
But she seems to have a problem with me. And she was like, that's none of my business.
Okay.
Okay. So now next year is 2019. And it was interesting because in 2018, it was packed like a dick in front of that place. In 2019, there was like nobody there. But I was at the HBO party and every Black person I saw, I would tell them, make sure you go to the Black Emmys party because I am about creating community and I want us to be together.
Right.
So I pull up with my homegirl, Kathia, and Kendrick Sampson, who's on Insecure. You know the show where I don't have any friends?
Yeah.
So I pull up with Kendrick Sampson. So we get to the door, and I learned later that she just is white passing, but this is a Mexican girl, but like she looked like a white girl. Mm-hmm. Okay? So she at the door for the
Emmys.
For what kind of party?
Emmys Black Party.
There you go. So she tells us, you can go in, you can go in, you can't go in. Now I think she's talking to my friend because my friend is a realtor.
Right.
And she says, no, you can't go in. And I said, well, why can't I go in? She says, you're just on the list to not be able to go in. Now, I had also been invited to this party directly by Jesse Williams.
Right.
So Jesse Williams had texted me and said, please come to the Black Emmys party.
Right.
Okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come to the Black Emmys party. Yeah, of course. Like that's what I am about. Well, baby, I'm not standing outside no party.
Right.
So I head out. But then I'm stopped by this brother, Joey Harris, who works with Janet Jackson. Joey's like one of these people who's just always, his disposition is just always like glowing. It's kind of like Jordan.
Right.
So he's like, where you going? I'm like, oh, they said they won't let me in the party. He's like, absolutely not. Come on back. We gonna get you in this party. Well, the white passing girl says again, yeah, no, she can't come to the party. So Joey's like, we go inside and figure out what's going on. Again, I'm not about to stand out here.
Right.
So I start to walk away again, and now Elijah Kelly comes out. He's like, hey, where you going? I said, they not trying to let me in this party that I was invited to.
Right.
By Jesse Williams. So then Elijah is like, well, I'm one of the planners of the party. So they can't stop they can't stop me from bringing you in.
Right.
So he starts to bring me in, and homegirl grabs my arm. But remember when I told you I've been a New Yorker since I was 12? So I had to shake that off.
Yeah. Loose me.
Yeah. Crazy. My homegirl goes to the bathroom. I'm standing by the bar, and a security guard approaches me. A security guard your size approaches me and says, hey, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And I said, well, why do I need to leave? And he said, because you're being asked to leave. I said, well, who's asking me to leave? He said, well, let me go find out.
Well, why did he ask? Well, I mean, you came and say something, they're asking you to leave, and you don't know who's asking me to leave. You got to go find out.
He was given an order.
Yeah.
So now he comes back, and he says, Vanessa Anderson is asking you to leave. I said, well, you need to find Vanessa and have her come tell me herself.
Is that Issa Rae's publicist?
Yes. I said, well, you need to have Vanessa come and find me and tell me herself. So he then leaves again and comes back with 3 other men. And one of the men now is a brother, and he's walking towards me cursing. So he's literally walking towards me saying, you need to get the out of here. You need to leave. And I'm like, mind you, I'm dressed down, honey, okay? And he's like, you need to leave. Now Kathia was in the bathroom. She's now just come up. And I'm looking around.
You need to leave. Shout out to TikTok.
And I can see people seeing the ruckus. Right? So I'm like, why do I have to leave? Because we said so. So there's like violent energy and language coming towards me, right? So when I pivot and I say, I pivot to go, you, I guess they thought I was about to do something. So the white guy steps in between me and the brother and chest bumps me and throws me back.
Right.
So now this is an assault. But I look around and I see nobody coming to my aid. All these agents and people that I see around. Now, none of them are Insecure. None of them are the actors from Insecure. But there's people whose faces I still remember. What ended up happening 2 days later is that I got a call from Issa. And she called me and said, hey, I heard what happened this weekend. I just want you to know I have nothing to do with it. Would you be willing to talk to Vanessa?
No, I tried to talk to Vanessa at the party. She 2 days too late.
So I've never talked about this publicly because it has always been incredibly important to me to protect Issa. Because I know that Issa is doing something within this business that so few people get to do. And it's not something I desire to do. Like, I'm not interested in getting a $100 million production deal. Like, that's not a life that I want for myself. But I know that her role is very important. And so I've always protected Issa. However, there's just been enough instances at this point where I should have been protected by Issa and I wasn't. And one of my biggest problems that we have discussed several times in this interview is that I think people are going to show up for me the way I show up for them. And now it's at a point where my protecting of Issa has become turned on to me and something that people are using against me. There's a whole narrative that is completely false that people keep spinning. They keep saying, you know, that I'm this mean girl on this set, that I harmed these people on this set. I just want to point out something very basic. How can I be a mean girl on a set that ain't my set? How? It's your show. You are my boss. I don't even have the capacity to be the mean girl here. Right. Because you can fire me. You know, when I got to that show, I had a show on Issa's website on YouTube. I had my show, Get Your Life. And when it came out on her YouTube, unfortunately, the press picked it up as Issa Rae's new show.
Right.
But she didn't do anything except put it on her site. Like,
Right.
I put all my money into it, I wrote it, I starred in it, etc. And so I said, hey, would you mind, tweeting to correct this? And she just wouldn't. She wouldn't promote any of the shows, and I just felt like that was unfortunate, but it didn't change my view of her character. Like, it just let me know, like, okay, this is how she do business. But in that time, her publicist was interacting with me and was from just day one, just so acerbic, like just vitrolic for no reason, to the point where Issa's business manager had to say to the publicist, like, can you please try and be kinder to Amanda? She's like a talent on our channel.
You have no reason why she would treat you, behave?
So, Issa says, would you talk to Vanessa?
No.
I said, sure. You know why?
Why?
Who's my boss? Who's my boss in this situation?
Well, Issa's the boss.
And where do I have to go back to work?
Insecure.
So what's the game you talked about?
You had to play the game. But hold on. But there was a situation earlier, Amanda, where she said, that ain't my business. Y'all need to handle that. Now she wants you to talk to her.
You're good.
Shannon showing his true colors, ain't he? Girl, cause then she just said,
good at math. You good at math, Sharp. Shannon Sharp.
I'm just saying, because you like,
you can't spell Sharpton without Sharp now. My feelings were hurt. I just got assaulted in a party for Black people in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in Hollywood longer than majority of the people in this fucking party.
Right.
My feelings are hurt.
Okay, you take the call. Hello?
Hi, Amanda, this is Vanessa. I just want you to know that, so none of this has anything to do with Issa. That's the first thing she says. None of this has anything to do with Issa. So I just want you to know that, but I do want you to understand that it was me who kicked you out the party. Okay. So, I just want you to know that the reason I kicked you out the party is because I don't like you. Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. There's nothing else for us to talk about, and I hang up. She calls me back immediately. Why'd you hang up? I said, because there's nothing else for us to talk about. She says, don't you want to know why I don't like you?
No, not actually. Actually, I don't.
No, I don't, because it's none of my business. I've never done anything to you. And for you to put me in harm's way off of literally nothing means that I don't need to talk to you about why you don't like me. You need to talk to your therapist about why you don't like me. And I hung up the phone.
She called back?
No, she called around. She starts a smear campaign.
Oh.
Issa then calls me again and says, hey, I just want to know if this is going to be a problem on set. Because now this is going on for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, I don't even mind a pylon if it's something I really did.
Right.
This situation, I'm like, how am I the villain in this situation? Well, you shouldn't have gone to her party because it was her party. Well, it's not just her party. There's several people at the party. It's not like I crashed her baby shower.
Right.
But also I'm looking at Issa because it's like, this is your responsibility. We are both your employees.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a part of leadership. This is the important part of leadership. And that's what makes leadership so annoying is you got to manage people.
Yes, you do.
And personalities. And
it's a very difficult task.
But it is par for the course.
Yes, but that's why you got the 100 million or whatever you got is to manage your employees.
So I said, listen, I am not saying that it's going to be a problem on set, but I do think it is a problem that you don't feel that you need to step in. And she was like, well, then we just have a difference in opinion. Like, this is between y'all. This is between y'all.
Well, if it was between us, why'd you intervene and say that she wanted to call her, I needed to talk to her? If you felt it was just between us, because you interjected yourself into that.
So I'm also promoting my book.
Right.
So this hits me because now the press is canceling. So this is now affecting me professionally. And I didn't do shit.
Right.
And I don't like you, in my opinion, is not a sufficient reason to sick 4 security guards on me and remove me from a black space.
Right.
Which also begs the question, what the is a black space? Now we have to go back to shooting.
Uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. And I ain't even on set.
And nobody's saying nothing to me. Everybody knows Because at this time, it's just the women shooting. Everybody knows what's going on. They don't say nothing to me. And that's just fucking mean. It's mean. They don't say nothing to me. And let me tell you, from the beginning, I've been trying with these ladies. Because I want to make community everywhere I go. I done invited them to my house. They didn't come. I brought them gifts. They said thanks. I tried to plan a retreat. They said we don't want to go. You know, I created our group chat for the show. I created game nights for the show.
Nobody participated.
I mean, eventually, but like
reluctantly.
But I'm trying to do this, you know, in this situation now. I'm publicly now being like excoriated. You got this earthworm Jim looking nigga, Sarunas out here talking about, well, no one likes you, so that's why you weren't invited. What's hilarious about that is that we were only in 2 scenes together. So this is not somebody that really knows me. But you know what the other thing is, Shannon Sharpton?
What happened?
This is a brother who ended up having a child with someone on the show. And when he had the child, there was rumors that were going around that he was not claiming the child.
Mm-hmm.
And so these people had started talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that are talking about ain't my people. I'm not involved in it, but I hear it because we on set.
Right.
And then he come around and it's, hey, I don't like that.
Mm.
I don't like that. It's not honest. So even though that's not my boy, I pull him to the side. I say, Pete, people out here are talking about you behind your back about this situation.
The streets talking.
And I said, listen, this is a small business. So at the end of the day, if you are this child's father, I think you should exclaim it to the rooftops. If you are not, if you are and you don't want to claim this child, I would like for you to just consider rethinking that. Because as somebody with a father that did not show up for me, I really feel like she would really benefit from having a father in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, why ain't nobody coming to me? I said, I'm literally coming to you right now. And you ain't even my peoples.
Right.
But I don't think it's fair that you're being talked about behind your back by people that you think are your peoples.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, thank you for that. That's the same nigga that fixed his mouth to jump on the bandwagon of We Hate Amanda. Because it was a bandwagon. And he wanted to be seen. He thought maybe he was gonna get an extra, right. He thought he was gonna get an extra scene or something. So now we're on set and I finally say to Issa, so are you just not gonna talk about this? Because it's now going on for 3 weeks and my mental health is suffering. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And she's like, well, like, what do you want to talk about? And I said, listen, like this was a terrible experience.
Right.
This was terrible. And I like literally cried like face to face with her, like, this is terrible. And she's like, this is the first time she finally says like, well, I'm sorry that happened to you. It took 3 conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I'd like to talk to you further because I need you to speak to Vanessa. She is trying to ruin my career. She's like, I don't think so. I'm like, she's trying to ruin my, so I bring her into the room, I bring her into my trailer and I had to do another 48 Laws of Power. I sat her on a higher plane than myself so that she can feel as the queen. And in this setting, she is the queen.
Right.
And I say, I don't need nothing from you. So I don't have a reason to lie to you. But the people that work for you, like in close quarters, whose names are really attached to you, they will lie to you. And I had to convince her that like, this is really happening. Like, I'm not making this up. And even if it turns out to be not happening, I still need you to speak to her to deduce what is or isn't.
Right.
So then she finally went and spoke to her. But the damage is done, right? Because now you see how every few years this becomes a thing. And it was started from a lie.
Right.
It was started from a lie. And Shannon, I got in trouble for saying nigga on Insecure. I got in trouble for telling a brother he was a revolutionary nigga. In trouble. Like literally got pulled aside and was told, we need to talk about the incident that you had.
I guess when you're in corporate, you got to keep it corporate, man.
We say nigga on the show. We say nigga all day on this motherfucking show. And it was a black woman who pulled me to the side. And this brother is tatted from the neck down, eating edibles on set from Detroit. I mean, that's nigga. It felt like it. So now we got to shoot the car scene where we're driving in Malibu.
Right.
So we in the car and I'm telling them about what happened and I start crying because I'm a sensitive soul and because this felt like another instance where I was being like bullied. And Issa laughed in my mother face as I was crying and said, well, you know, you do have a tone. At the end of season 1, I pulled Issa aside after this. I said, can we go to dinner? I want to take you to dinner. I took her to dinner. I said, I feel like you think I have something against you. And I don't know why you feel that way. Because we had been cool from even before this.
Right.
She was like, well, no. I said, I feel like you have something against me. And she said, well, I feel like you have something against me. And I was like, based on what? Because again, Shannon, I'm on your show.
Right.
I can't do not like
I'm only to get scenes added if you add them.
I'm in pocket, baby. I can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, why? She said, well, I guess I was looking at you like your character. Am I that good of an actress? She wrote the character, bro. And so I said, you know what? So let's clean the slate because that's not. I have nothing against you. I really don't. And if that came off, that was not my intention. But by the end of the show, there were just certain scenarios where I had to really always be the bigger person and be the balm to the situation. And then in season 5, she just came out her face at me one time too many, and I just chose to stop being the bomb because the show was wrapping. It was the end of the season. It was the end of the series. And I'm just not going to keep doing this.
So what did you do?
Nothing. I just stopped communicating.
Oh. I mean, I had a little rail, and he says that Issa is like most of her set is with women, camera people, et cetera, and that she's very empowering to women.
Oh, I disagree. She wasn't empowering to me. She didn't feel like she didn't feel like I deserved to be protected. I'm only giving I'm only giving a portion of the situations. Yeah. So, but that was my experience. Okay. And nonetheless, I have still always protected her because I felt like it was my responsibility to do so, but it is not. The internet says Amanda needs to change her energy. I do not need to change my energy. I don't. And all of those spaces, aside from Black Girls Rock, have contacted me. I don't need to change my energy. What needs to change is how we look at energy and how we understand energies that aren't necessarily our own.
Right.
So even as we sat here and we have talked, I have had to understand your energy. And you have asked me to do that. Mm-hmm. And even though it may not be my own, we live in this space together. We live on this earth together. So we have to gain certain abilities to do that. And that requires a lesser ego. That requires curiosity, which I consider to be indicative of love. It requires humanity. Like, we live in a world that is continuously creating borders to keep people out because we feel like they don't deserve to be here.
You talked about your time on The Real, and you talked about the bad. Did you have any good times on The Real? Was there anything that you liked about your time there?
I like my team in my dressing room. Listen, your glam squad in those situations be your family because you there so early in the morning every day.
Right.
Let me just be clear though. Like, people like to say that I have issues with my co-hosts on The Real, and I have never voiced that, and none of them have ever voiced that.
Right.
And my issue with The Real was about the executive leadership of The Real and the fact that we couldn't talk about. Like, they would say things like, I remember Tamara wanted to talk about wine, and they were like, well, Black people don't drink wine, so we're not going to talk about wine.
Wow.
I'm just like,
I know you fucking lying. Honey, I know you. Child, honey. This is why we keep getting sold the same stories over and over again, because they're always trying to tell Black people what they do and don't like. Baby, I ain't got nothing more to add other than, honey, that's some tea. That is some tea. Honey. What's going on, Saint? Welcome in. Welcome in. That is some tea, honey. And we just getting done with the straight people business. Oh, child, buckle up, honey. I ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer. But we got a couple things we need to talk about, honey. Yes, and Meg the Stallion is coming up. Yes. But let's get into your girl, honey. Who drag show was this?
The Drag Brunch from Hell.
Oh Lord, we can't do the music. Get into your sis. This one of y'all sister. Yeah, honey. She got her water balloons in the front. Look, see them bouncing. Look. Yes, honey. She got on her good blonde Beyonce wig. That's her Beyonce wig, honey. Oh Lord, she done sat down, honey. Yes. Oh Lord, what's that? What was she doing? Oh yeah. She was on the ground. Look at it. She really loves that hump, don't she? Look at. See, that's her move. That's the one. That's the one. That's the move, honey. What was that? Oh, that's the other angle. Was that supposed to have been? Oh Lord, we log rolling. Child. Oh, and they tipping her. Honey, are they laughing at her or laughing with her? Honey, can we get a breakdown for that? I'm glad she got support. Oh, look at, she wants you to see him jump. She wants you to see him jiggle, honey. Oh, Lord. Oh, we got costume changes. Honey, she decided to wear that gown in a flat. She decided to wear a flat with that one, honey, even though the heel was for the Beyonce, the heel was for the Zep. Honey, but yeah, she got support. She got male support or masculine energy support. Clock her out. Clock her and her plate out of the drag brunch. Oh, Lord. What is going on? I know. Let me not hold it together. Oh, we got effects on the video, honey. Oh, look. What is she thinking that she is just talking to people, honey? She's still on Beyonce. I guess, she got her Beyonce wig on, honey. Yes. Listen. She said she want people to listen, so she said she gonna walk around like Sunday school mom, honey. She gonna walk around like Sunday school mother, honey. Oh Lord, who is that? That is somebody who is serious with that ponytail. They is serious about catching her. Lord, I wonder if they using her phone or their own phone. Oh look. Oh look, don't she look like she get ready to come check your work? Oh Lord. Oh. She said you should have known. Now I'm done believing you. Yes, honey, you don't know what I'm feeling. Yeah, that was that part, honey. We didn't know what she was feeling, honey. She is more than what we make of her. She found the truth that we gave to her. And now she gotta find her own. Well, shit, she should be done this song already. I follow the voice you think you gave to me. Come on, girl. Honey. Yes, honey. Her gown got the bouffant on the side. Y'all think she made it herself? Honey. Y'all think she made it herself? Honey? Y'all think she found that in a nice catalog pattern? Honey. Yes, honey. That's why she couldn't wear the heels. Because if she had her heels on, she couldn't make y'all listen. If she had her heels on, then y'all wouldn't be able to listen that this is the crossroads. That you're not a home at your own home, honey. Oh, but I tried to say what's on my mind. You should have known. Oh, now I'm done believe. Child, I'm more than what you made of me. Child, honey, I know y'all probably wondering, why didn't she talk about the Planet Fitness? We had sent her to Planet Fitness and everything, all the stuff that was going on with Planet Fitness. She didn't want to talk about. Well, first of all, I don't want to give too much light to too much of these nonsensical anti-trans shenanigans and propaganda. Number one. But let's get into Planet Fitness. Because they've been on my spirit, honey. So let's talk about Planet Fitness. Honey, for all who didn't see the video.
Good day. I just wanted to say I just came out of Planet Fitness, and there is a man shaving in a women's bathroom. I realize he wants to be a woman. He gets to be a woman. I love him in Christ. He's a spiritual being having a human experience. He doesn't like his gender, so he wants to be a woman. But I'm not comfortable with him shaving in my bathroom. All right. I just thought I'd say it out loud.
What was she shaving? What was she shaving in the bathroom? Child, what was she shaving in the bed? What? Where's my Bellica? First of all, we gotta get something lit before I talk about her. All right. Is this really a trans person? Is this really somebody trans? Is this no? Let me rephrase that, because trans people come in all shapes or forms. Is this really a binary trans woman who needs to use the women's facilities? Is my question to y'all, honey. And girl, you know, if you try and break your body down, if you try and feminize your body, what is you doing at the gym? No, I mean seriously, what exercises are you doing at the gym to help feminize your body? Girl, honey, y'all starting to see why I didn't talk about Planet Fitness? Because y'all know the white girls be ready to cancel me every time they do one of these shenanigans, honey. And it's always caucasity. It always got caucasity with it. When you see black people doing stuff like this, it'd be mental health. It'd be mental health. Child, honey, I don't know if Christopher is another incident or not, but I'm imagining these ain't the same person. That ain't the same person, is it? That ain't the same person, is it? This is a binary trans woman that needs to use women for some, with these dreadful locks. Looks like a man to me, honey. It looks like Todd. Looks like Christopher. Don't it look like a Christopher? Honey, that facial hair look lines up. Girl, give me the girl, honey, chop. Now, Planet Fitness has been on the right side of history. Planet Fitness is still sticking to their guns as they should, honey. Planet Fitness, y'all didn't make these fools, honey. A lot of y'all probably wondering, Bre, you being judgmental. Why are you being so judgmental? Because it is very isolated incidents where you have people who are binary transgender and they feel comfortable going outside, being in certain facilities. Me as a trans person, when I was early in my transition, well, I can't tell y'all that lie because y'all done seen my pictures before, hormones now. I've always been able to pass as a girl. Even as a boy, I passed as a girl. When I wore boys' clothes, even now people assume that I'm a little butch. You know, honey, assume that I'm a little queer, but they don't assume penis, right? There were times I felt unsafe as a boy, so I used the women's room. There were times where I felt more masculine presenting, and so I used the men's room. This don't make sense to me. These girls, for one, feeling comfortable. If you have if you truly have gender dysphoria, the math ain't mathing. You're going to try to avoid these situations as often as possible. All the trans people I know, especially the ones who question their ability to pass, trans people in general, passing or not, tend to avoid public facilities because we know that we're not wanted there, number one. And we know that it is unsafe for us, number two. And we trying to avoid embarrassing incidents when we just trying to use the bathroom. So this is not making sense to me. most of the trans girls I know, passing, non-passing, but most of the trans people I know, honey, only use the locker room to change, really. They shower when they get home. It's one of the things that comes along with gender dysphoria. It's one of the things that comes along with the reality and knowing the reality that my gender identity and the way that I present does not match what society expects is between my legs. I'm not saying it's right. People should be able to use whatever facilities they want. But legitimately, I do understand the argument of having grown men in the ladies' room where there are little girls. Honey, long story short, y'all people not having common sense and navigating y'all transness and not seemingly trans, you have to navigate spaces a little bit differently. It don't make sense to me. I wouldn't even feel comfortable shaving my face in front of my boyfriends, let alone at a public gym. I wouldn't feel comfortable shaving my face in front of my mother. I don't get it. I don't get it. And if you're truly binary trans, part of that is having gender dysphoria. That's the reality. Part of being trans is part of being binary trans is being perceived a certain way. It's a goal. If you're a trans man, if you're a trans woman, it's a goal. For non-binary people, the rules are different. We're not talking about non-binary individuals right now. We're talking about trans men and trans women, binary people. Because these people are claiming to be trans women. They're not claiming to be non-binary. Child, honey. Planet Fitness is on the right side of things. I wouldn't feel comfortable exposing child. Carlotta, Yvette, and Carlotta had a situation at another Planet Fitness, honey. Child, I think some of this stuff is starting to be staged, honey. Yeah. Carlotta. Yeah, Carlotta and And again, my question for Carlotta is, what are you working on in the gym, Carlotta? What are you working on in the gym, Carlotta? Child, the black girls even had to get in on it. Honey, trigger warning, this is a fool. Okay, honey, child. Most recent incident at Planet Fitness with a transgender.
The policy violation for what?
Sleeping in the facility, we've already talked to you numerous times, woke you up numerous times. Keeping yourself in the locker room, told you that.
Keeping myself in there?
Yeah, in the lockers.
How was I keeping myself in the locker? Myself or my stuff?
Your stuff.
Okay, well y'all only told me today.
No, we've told you.
No, you have not. You're a liar. No, you haven't.
No.
You haven't.
No.
You haven't.
But
now I think this child is just hopping on the bandwagon. I did my research, come to find out, honey, she was keeping her stuff in there overnight and everything. They didn't have a problem with her using the facilities and nothing. It's giving special case, honey. Ignore that, honey. Scratch that one, child, honey. She acting a damn fool and Planet Fitness while we had real things to worry about. Another one of our sisters, honey. Child. I don't have the bandwidth to go through this story tonight, but I'll likely bring it up in the future unless we're bombarded with another 5 or 6 in the next couple of weeks. Blood on the leaves. Trans siblings. No longer here. Child. Not Megan getting sued. Honey. Not Megan back in court. They won't keep her out of court. Did y'all hear Emilio Garcia? Honey, yes, her cameraman. Honey, her videographer. He is alleging unpaid wages, fat shaming, and wrongful termination. Now, the fat shaming allegation is wild. Honey, the fat shaming allegation is nuts. Said that she would call him a fat bitch and tell him to stop eating. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's possible. Now, I think it could have been said in jest. You know how you say things jokingly, but you be serious. Because, honey, I'm sure it's been times that Megan asked to been hungry. You know them celebrities can't eat and stuff, honey. Especially when they known as sex symbols and all that. You got to maintain your weight and body and all that, honey. Excuse me, honey. So, yeah, she probably was mad that it was times Emilio was eating and her ass couldn't. Honey. Emilio, yes, one of the queers. Yeah, shout out to Emilio. Yeah, honey. Emilio also spilled some tea, honey, said that he seen Megan freaking off in Ibiza, honey, with another women's. While she was on a girls trip in Spain, in Ibiza. Running his damn mouth. Said that she forced him. But then later says that, you know, she had to verify that he even seen it. She wasn't even aware that he saw it. And then told him not to say nothing. Well, that sounded like she didn't want you to be there. It don't sound like she was forcing you to be there, Emilio. Child, honey, I'm gonna let Megan Cooner, yeah, honey. You know they be trying to turn on trade for y'all, honey. Yeah, y'all know I would slay Emilio, honey. She thick. Child, but let's get into Megan Cooner. What does Megan Cooner have to say? Megan Cooner then really became a star online, didn't she, honey? Since the Megan Tory trial, honey. That Armand covered better than her.
About this Megan Thee Stallion lawsuit. I was like, oh, that sounds like a West Coast trial lawyers lawsuit if I've ever heard one. Sure enough, not only is it West Coast trial lawyers, it's actually the lawyer who's suing Lizzo. And the complaints are pretty similar. I mean, it's overall, it's an employment lawsuit. And when you look up the lawyer for West Coast trial lawyers who filed it, he's an employment lawyer. Like, this is not, I mean, the harassment charge is hostile work environment harassment, which is a employment charge. That's not like sexual harassment. It's definitely not the same as the Diddy case. But
honey, Megan said, it sounds like Megan said it's a little trumped up. So the sexual harassment ain't even a part of the lawsuit. So Megan got me thinking, well, why did Emilio even bring that up just to spill the tea? Honey, y'all, it's leap year and y'all out here leaping. Child, y'all gonna end up leaping into the wrong pond. Y'all gonna leap into a pond full of alligators, honey. Child. But you know the girls is on the case, honey. The girl said that Emilio ain't a reliable source. Honey. We'll get into it.
She was super sweet. Miss Holly was super sweet. And I was really just like in awe of her talent. Like once we got in the studio, and just watching her work. Because I'm someone I'm such a fan of rap music and specifically female rappers. And so to go in the studio to see someone who I was a huge fan of and just to be recording her, I was so oh my God, she's so talented.
Child was fanning out. Emilio was fanning out, wasn't he, before he had all them tattoos, didn't he, honey? Yeah, he's talking about working with Mag.
Let's get started. Alright, so today's video is going to be about something that I've kind of been wanting to discuss. I just didn't know when or how I was going to get into this. And first things first, please excuse me, this video is kind of spontaneous. I was just lounging around and doing domestic duties around my apartment because I gotta go to work in a little bit. So this video just kind of, it's just coming from the heart, from the corazón. Boom, 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 Boom. So, for the past 2 years or so, I've kind of been dealing with what I thought was depression, which turned out to be depression. I didn't know what exactly was going on. I noticed that I really had like lost motivation to do everything. I didn't have the will to get out of bed. I didn't have the will or desire to do anything other than go to work. I really didn't have the desire to do that either. So, you know, I would call in every now and then, but I need a job, so I couldn't just call in constantly. It was starting to affect like every aspect of my life, like my friendships. I would kind of just like ditch. Like if they would like invite me places, like I would just like politely decline and then get FOMO afterwards. I mean, it just really took over my life. Like I didn't want to do anything. If it involved me getting out of bed, I just had no desire to do it. And at first I thought it was like just like laziness or like chronic procrastination. Like the worse it got, the more I researched, and all of these things I was feeling were symptoms of depression. So I'm like, damn, like do I have this? Do I not? I checked, you know, I did like the whole WebMD, and it didn't say I was dying like every other headache or stomach ache will say online, you know, oh, symptoms of fucking death. But you know, it did say like everything kind of led to anxiety and depression. Right off the bat, I was like, well, I mean, I could easily fix this with medication, but I don't want to do medication. I've always been pretty skeptical of antidepressants and just medicine in general. I like to go all other routes before I take medicine. It's just a preference.
Just the preference. Just the preference. Your depression taking over your life and you don't even want to try medication. Honey, baby, I'm going to try anything I can. And that is exactly what Megan's camp and her lawyers are going to argue. If you're truly concerned about these wages and keeping this job, because he is accusing this whole Megan employment situation to have caused him depression. Well, it's not the cause of your depression, but it could help to excite a bout of depression. It could help to onset a bout of depression. That's the real thing. And that's what his lawyers will argue if they're smart. But the girls is helping Megan build their case, honey. They saying, rumor on the block, honey, they saying that she really got fired. They're saying that Emilio really got fired because he's a barb. If this is true, I'm sure, allegedly, allegations, honey. If this is true, I'm sure the girls will come up with receipts of Emilio's barbishness, Barbie status. Honey. Child, don't get me lying. Honey, everybody got a lawsuit. You get a lawsuit, and you get a lawsuit, and you get a lawsuit this year. Honey, you get a lawsuit. What is Emilio talking about on here?
And let's like give it a shot. And so I was super excited, and but I was working at the courthouse, and I was like, I was a lead clerk, so I had to be there every Saturday. So I called in sick to work, and I showed up to the studio, and she recorded a session, and that ended up being the first episode of her vlog series Hottie World. And yeah, it's just been magic ever since. Like the first year of me working with her, like I was working full time at the City of Houston courthouse downtown.
He ain't saying nothing spectacular. But yeah, that's when he was a part of the crew. Honey. People can make things look good in pictures, but it surely looked like Emilio was having fun. So Emilio, you either a good actor or it wasn't that bad working with Melanie. I was going to say working with Melanie. It wasn't, or Emilio, it wasn't that bad working with Megan. But you just try and get a coin, honey. And I can't say I understand because I ain't going to be trying to see nobody unless I think I really got a case. But that's just me, personality, honey. Yeah. Blame it on the rain. Now let me check in with y'all before we get up out of here. That was our last case, honey. Oh, Lord, y'all done been in here talking. Honey, talking. Bre, why the stream Why the stream always at the ass crack? What ass crack? What you mean? Oh, the ass crack is on. What's going on, Juju, by the way? Child, yeah, because I be up. It's the way my days are currently set up. It honestly depends on, you know, when and how I can manage my day and get my self-care and all of those things in, because I'm a person with gifts, but I'm also a person with genuine mental health issues. So I have to take care of myself to be able to function properly, and unfortunately not enough of us people who have mental health issues take care of ourselves enough. And I think because for a lot of people, they don't want to feel disabled. I think a lot of other people are just in denial about their mental health issues, and that's how we end up with bodies in the basement. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But thank you for being here, Juju. Thanks for coming in, honey. I pulled up receipts to further prove that I have been using my voice, and yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's from that was in a music, well, clearly a music history class. Y'all saw it for yourself. Honey, I had to read him. I read him in class. I read him in class, but it was real slight because I kept catching myself. And then at one point, when he got telling the story about how he was in church, him and his wife with their Asian daughter, and he had started talking about you people and some white boy that goes to his church that acts black, and I was like, oh no, I need to get up out of here. I need to get up out of here, honey. Yeah. Honey, y'all know I'm from the Eastern Shore, baby. Honey, they got Trump 2024 banners flying over there. Jesus. You want to see Beyonce at Storm? Miss Neal, go ahead and clock out. Beyonce has found her gift. Beyonce has found her gift. Music. Honey. Thank you, Saint. I was restraining. When I was talking to his tail. Yeah, hashtag Black people can grow hair. Yes, we absolutely can. Honey, y'all been seeing my hair grow and get chopped, honey, on and off since I've been on here. If you pay attention, if you know what real hair looks like. Beyonce looks amazing. Yeah, she always looks amazing. You don't think Shannon could hear himself? You always seen him as someone who can rescind and realign when necessary. That's a disappointment. Yes. That is most Black people who are public figures, honey. They can rescind and realign when necessary, at least the successful ones, honey. You side-eyeing Shay now, honey. Y'all didn't know that boy was from off the plantation. Y'all didn't know that. Honey, he's stepping out of his league now, honey. Baby, he ain't talk about sports no more, honey. Y'all talk about Stephen A. Smith, honey. Stephen A. Smith be saying more controversial things. But a lot of times I think y'all be giving Stephen A. Smith a hard way to go. Sometimes he do be cooning to, Lord, maybe it's their generation. Blame it on the generation. Little Mama could always create a hit. Let's not forget about lip gloss. My lip gloss is popping. Yes, shout out to Black Twitter. The women have leveraged their power against other women for the sake of their harm. Really bothers me, and other women watch. No job, no calling is that important to ignore another woman's mistreatment, another human, period, to be honest. For me, honestly, maybe I'm old fashioned, but I think I can't relate. I'm not that kind of trans girl. Like, I know my genitals are different. I mean, even if I wasn't trans, I wouldn't be bare butterball put wide open puss, for the world to see anyway. I'm just a little more modest than that. So I don't get wanting to be exposed in public, especially wanting to be exposed as a trans person, especially wanting to be exposed as a trans person with a penis around a little girl, or even in a vicinity that could possibly contain a little girl. So I don't feel comfortable. I don't know, but to be fair, we also haven't seen any pictures of anybody nude. We've only seen pictures of these people with clothes on. And trust me, if there were nudes available, I'd have them. They'd be censored for y'all, but they'd be posted on my Twitter. Yeah, honey. But that one person with the beard, Christopher, with that beard, that was doing way too much. That was doing way too much. Carlotta, I'm just trying to figure out why she at the gym. Like, what is she balking up? It makes me uncomfortable for many reasons, and one reason being, realistically, the political climate we're in, realistically, your safety, regardless of how you should live in a utopian world, we don't live in a utopian world. No, it's not right that women should not walk alone at night. But in reality, for their safety, it's not safe for women to walk alone at night. I mean, how many instances do I need to show y'all of people having their life taken by men, trans and cisgender women? So for me, it's safety, and it also is the decency factor, because I feel uncomfortable with adults, any adult, trans or not, being nude around children, especially children that ain't your own. But even your own, that's weird, honey. Child, and we not even gonna talk about the black girl. Armani, you're not gonna judge me for saying honey. Now, Miss Neal, you like that honey too? Honey, Shay is not coming out of that outhouse on that plantation. Baby, you can cancel that check. What you say, Armani? While you understand all of what I said, even agree with most of it, as I've been there, some of these trans folks use the gym to actually wash, groom due to homelessness and other things. Well, I proved to y'all that Carlotta, well, the black girl was homeless. The black girl was homeless, but they were not putting her out. The police was not being called on her because she was trans. I don't even think that nobody clocked her till she started talking. The black girl, what? Now, she was homeless and she lived there, and that's why it never made a headline. You know, I understand that. I get that. But realistically, you can't live at the gym either, even if it says open 24 hours. They have policies against that, and it's not just against trans folks. I think the bigger conversation is that we have a problem with homelessness that needs to be addressed in our country, and it's something that should be discussed more during this election year, not trans children playing sports. Planet Fitness has branded themselves as a place for everyone to feel comfortable working out, and they had policy for it, and this is what we're getting. It was supposed to be a leave people alone while they work out place, Shane. No, from my understanding, Planet Fitness is still standing by that. Have you heard something different, Saint? Planet Fitness is still being trans inclusive and trans welcoming, and that has become an issue because Planet Fitness, or that has become an issue for some people because Planet Fitness's policies, their bathroom policies, their locker room policies, don't align with a lot of don't align with the anti-trans policies of various states. So, from my understanding, Planet Fitness has not currently changed their policy, but if you know something, correct my Cash App. That's my real Cash App. That's my real Cash App, Mr. Smith, honey. Thank you, love. That's the real thing. That's her. That's she. That's her, honey. Yeah, let me check to make sure, honey. Child, cause you scaring me now, honey. And that's the Cash App that I use. I'm thinking somebody might be using one close to it, cause you know how they do. You know how they steal people Cash Apps and stuff. Oh, thank you, Mr. Smith. You were saying check my Cash App. Thank you, Mr. Smith. I appreciate you, honey. I appreciate you, love. How is the family? How is everybody doing, honey? I've been waiting to see you come back, honestly, but I just didn't want to pressure you on it, honey. You know I ain't never going to forget you, Mr. Smith. I told you that. You're the first person to ever send me monetary gifts through YouTube, so I definitely appreciate that, honey. Yes. But I don't want to stay with y'all too long. I don't want to hold y'all up too long, honey. But I definitely got y'all all caught up on the tea that matters to me anyway, and tea that I think we all should know and be concerned about. But all of you who live in your truth, I love you for being you. I love you for supporting your girl. Share the video. Share the video with somebody who you want to educate. Share the video with other trans people. Share the video with other black people. Share the video with women. Share the video with other minorities. Honey, yes, honey. Share the video with people who you think even might try to troll me. Don't worry. If you're new here, I'm ready for them. Yes, honey. Subscribe to the channel, please. And like the video because it really helps me out in the algorithm, y'all. Peace, love, and blessings to you and yours.